Today, I'm going to tell you about being extraordinary and not just ordinary. You see, we were all born extraordinary. Not one person is exactly like another. But when we try to be just like others, we lose the extra and we just get ordinary. Today, I'm going to tell you my story and the story of Martha Graham and Bob Fosse, two successful dancers and choreographers. You'll be able to see how they each showcase their individualism and how that led them to success. But what I've discovered about success doesn't just apply to dance, but it applies to any area of success that you're looking for. Let's first start with Martha Graham. It's 1923, and the only style of dance that everyone trains in is ballet. Every ballet class consists of a 30 to 60 minute bar, which includes tendus, dégagés, frappés, battements, pliés, and rond de jambes. Ballet can get very repetitive, but that all changed when Martha Graham decided to rebel against the traditional style of ballet and create her own style called modern dance. With this style, she incorporated ballet moves that she had learned growing up and put a twist on them to create a whole new vocabulary of dance moves. Some of these moves included brush contraction and fourth position turn, but she was most well known for her floor work. Her goal with this new choreography was to express emotions while dancing. She wanted the audience to be able to feel something when watching her performances rather than just watching pretty dancers make pretty shapes. Martha Graham received many awards and honors for her new choreography, but she also received some hate. Some said that her dances were ugly and grim, but she didn't let that stop her, and now, modern dance is a foundation for other styles, just like ballet is. Bob Fosse took a similar path to success as Martha Graham did. He grew up taking ballet, and he was the only boy in his class. He often got made fun of, but he didn't let that stop him, and after school, he moved to New York and worked in various entertainment jobs. After a few years in working in the industry, he received his big break when he choreographed his own show called The Pajama Game. In this show, he choreographed a stylistic staging of dancers, which meant that he placed dancers at various positions on the stage rather than the traditional ways of staging, which were lines or diagonals. This show was so popular because he brought something new to the dance world. He choreographed sideways shuffling, hinges, turned-in knees, finger snaps, and something that we're all aware of today, the jazz hands. Bob Fosse was a big advocate for acting while dancing. He once said, "You can't be a good dancer unless you're a good actor." His style became known as Fosse, and it changed Broadway forever. He received many awards, including a Tony Award for his new work. A few years ago, I actually did a Fosse-inspired dance for competition, where we wore hats and incorporated many of Fosse's signature moves, including turned-in knees, sideways shuffling, and the jazz hand. As you can see, Fosse's work has carried on throughout generations, and he's changed Broadway and the dance world forever. Yeah. All right, so now that we've looked at two successful dancers and choreographers, I began to wonder why they were so successful. What did they both have in common that led them to success? Well, both Bob Fosse and Martha Graham rebelled against the traditional style that they had learned growing up. They weren't immediately successful. Martha Graham received lots of hate for her new style, and Bob Fosse had to work for various years in the entertainment industry before he received his big break. But they both used their creative minds and created something that nobody had ever seen before. What they did not do is they did not conform. Conformity is the act of changing your own beliefs in order to fit in with somebody else. It's the default for most people when they don't know what to do in a situation or they feel uncomfortable. There are many types of conformity, and lots of them we see right here at Episcopal. The first type of conformity is informational conformity. This is when we change our beliefs and behaviors to fit in with somebody else because we think that they know more about a situation than we do. For example, when taking a group test with Hayden Singh and Kathy Hu, you may just agree with what they got as their answer because they're stronger in that subject than you are. Another type of conformity is identification conformity. This is the type of conformity where we change our beliefs in order to fit in with a group in public, but in private, we act differently. And finally, normative conformity. Normative conformity is changing our beliefs and behaviors in order to fit in with a group. This is the type of conformity that we see on a daily with trends, influencers, celebrities, and even friend groups.
All right. In the blue t-shirt, that is Nadia. She is an innocent passerby. Has nothing to do with this. Everybody else in that elevator, they are all in on the experiment. Okay, floor 2. Rebecca gets off. Emily gets on. She also works for us. We're swapping people in and out to reinforce the behavior. Emily's acting like it's the most normal. Oh, Nadia's turned. Okay, her bag is slipping off her shoulder. She's nervously playing with it.
Yeah.
Floor 4.
I love the guy.
4th floor, Mike gets off. Lauren gets on. Lauren also works for us. She's in. Oh, and Nadia has gone. The 4th floor, Nadia has turned all the way around. She's looking at the back of the elevator purely because everybody else is.
So as you can see in that video, that was the best known example of normative conformity. But my question is, why do people conform? Why did the person getting into the elevator turn to the back even when she knew it was the wrong thing to do? Well, I mentioned that when we aren't doing what other people are doing, it makes us feel uncomfortable. So that's why people conform. That explains why people follow trends too. Those who start trends and follow trends are known as the in-group. People in the in-group often criticize and put down people in the out-group to make themselves feel superior. And people follow this group because they want to feel like they're a part of something and feel like they're accepted. Take the trend of Stanleys as an example. Last Christmas, almost every person asked for a Stanley, and if they didn't get one, they probably used their Christmas money to buy one. This is all because some influencers and celebrities were seen promoting and using these cups. Or take the trend back in 2020 when almost every person in our grade cut their hair. And I'm not sure who started this trend, but once one person buzzed their head, before we knew it, the whole grade had a buzz cut. Another way in which many of us conform is in this way. In this case, nobody wants to be the person that shows up to an event too dressed up or too casual, because they don't want to feel uncomfortable when they get there. But why does this have to be a thing? Why does conformity have to kick in and decide what we wear, how we act, and what we buy? Well, it doesn't, and it shouldn't. From the 2 examples that I showed you, you were able to see that the dancers were so successful because they showcased their individualism and didn't conform to others. I've even noticed this in my life as I've grown up dancing. I haven't always seen success in dance classes and auditions, and I always wondered why. Well, it was because I was always trying to look like and act like the professional dancers, the successful dancers that I knew were successful. But when I got into an audition space, I looked like every other dancer in the room. And in 6th grade, my dance teachers told me that I needed to find my own individualism and find my style and showcase that in every single dance class and audition that I went to. So I decided to try that out. I found the things that made me unique and showcased that in everything I did. I was always one of the tallest girls in convention classes, and so I decided to use that to my advantage. I started working on my plie, my flexibility, and taking up more space while dancing. And I ended up finding more success within dance. But looking back on it now, I realized that I didn't just showcase my individualism in dance classes. In 6th grade, I wrote this list of trends that I wanted to start. Now, it's not like I was gonna be the first person to ever wear an ankle bracelet or use a Lululemon backpack, but it's the idea that I didn't see these things on the daily in the Episcopal middle school community. And Ms. Kress has actually experienced something similar that supports this claim. When she was auditioning to be a Rockette, she got told that she was hired because of her smile. She stood out from the thousands and thousands of other girls auditioning because of something that was unique to her. So ultimately, she showcased her individualism, and that's what got her hired. And I've had to learn this with my dancing as well. But showcasing individualism doesn't just lead to success in dance, but in any area of life that you're looking for it. Think of any successful person you know. They didn't copy someone else and just randomly become successful. Maybe you're thinking of Jeff Bezos, Taylor Swift, or someone more relatable. Taylor Swift has created a whole era of albums and done more things with these albums than anybody could have imagined. They each found something that was unique to them and created something that nobody had ever seen before. Okay, so you may be wondering, what do I do now? Well, I'm not telling you to go start your own business or create your own eras, but I am encouraging you to start thinking in a more individualistic way. Stop worrying so much about what other people think and what other people are doing, and start worrying about what you want to do. So the next time you're thinking about sending the "what are you wearing" text, think about what you want to wear instead of what everyone else will be wearing. Find the things that make you unique and showcase that in everything you do. Because when we conform to others and worry too much about what other people think, that holds us back. So don't be extraordinary, but be extraordinary.